I'm going to keep this one a little bit looser than the last episode because for you, it's New Year's Eve. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about brand audits and why I use brand audits. This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm your host, Martin Sully, a brand strategist, designer, and founder of Snapper Studio. And I'm on a mission to help you gain clarity and confidence in your brand. I'll arm you with bite-sized tips and introduce you to friends of the show who are taking their brand to the next level. I use them to evaluate how brands are positioned. It's looking at how customers recall the brand and basically trying to spot holes, spot problems. And it's my first sort of foray into it. And obviously whoever is, they might, tell me some of their problems and I might be able to see them, but I might also probably find other things that they may have not spotted. So yeah, it's my chance to find out where the brand fits into the market. And they force you to look at the overall picture. And that informs brand strategy. Now, there's two beautiful reasons to actually use them. Number one, to check to see if your business is going in the right direction. That one's obvious. Number two, for me to diagnose the good, the bad, and the holy moly. We better get rid of that. And essentially, we're going to look at three things. External branding, where we evaluate your products, services, and messaging. So that the brand's visual identity and how it's used in advertising, digital marketing, things like websites, emails, and your social media presence. And then any printed collateral, printed posters, whatever. It's anything that's done like that. Next, internal branding. So this is one that not every company needs, and some companies are just one person. But effectively, we need to evaluate the company's culture to see if employees fully understand and share the company's values and mission. And obviously, we're not trying to make little sheep that just do everything the brand tells them. Like they've got their own individual personalities, and absolutely, I urge them to not dilute themselves because that can lead to problems too. But what you want to do is to find out if you've got any opportunities to educate people about your brand, and educate people around what you hope the brand becomes in the future. Let them be a part of that. The third thing to look at is the customer's experience, and this is probably one of the most important parts, because as much as you can nail the brand, the visual identity, get all the internal stuff right, if what the people are experiencing on the outside doesn't match up to everything else that they're seeing, they're not gonna interact. They're not gonna do anything with your brand. We're kind of looking for gaps in the customer experience and ways to make it better. We want to find out if your customers are outperforming you in some way and why they are. So auditing this area can show how well customers are experiencing your brand through your sales processes and your customer support. And do you do things to excite them? Right? Basically, the reason I'm wanting to talk to you on about this one is because this is actually an area I'm actually expanding into and doing more of next year. Actually, it's going to be like, for most people, it's going to be the first stop. And I'll tell you what, the advantage of that is that for you guys as customers, potential customers, like, you're not going to just jump off the back of this and be like, woohoo, let's go work with Martin. Amazing. So yeah, the advantage is you get a more granular look at the problem as opposed to someone just coming in and be like looking around, finding out X, Y, Z, you telling them that there's a particular problem, and them saying, all that, we can only fix this if we do a full rebrand. Because, tell you what, rebrands take a long time and they're very, very expensive. But if we can come in and we can explain to you that the problem is this, and you will get your best result from doing this, it might not even go as far as just being a rebrand. It may be a refresh. Like, we may discover that the brand is in a really, really good shape, but could just do with some little tweaks to copy, things that could be tightened up. The website might feel a little bit disconnected from the social media, so we need to sync that all up. Those are some of the few things that might just be like, need to be addressed, that are not expensive options. They might, feel like, going in and thinking about updating your website or doing this, and this might just be like a little bit too much, and be like, it's too much for me to handle. But that's okay. That's why people like me are around, to help out. So keep your eyes and ears peeled, or alternatively, I will tell people all about it, give people early access on my newsletter. So if you want to jump onto my website, sign up for the newsletter, come say hey, let's have a conversation. But yeah, see you on the next one.